Hello, I'm Jodi Ginsberg of Ginsberg Law Offices, and today I'm going to speak with you about a rather complex issue called Medicare set-asides. Many times when you have a very significant injury, you are unable to work for quite some time, perhaps up to a year, you contemplate whether or not you should file for Social Security disability. That is something that our law firm also works with you on and can advise you as to when the best time to file for Social Security disability might be in your particular case. Now, it is a rather complicated matter because when the Social Security disability and Medicare divisions are now telling workers' compensation claimants that they simply cannot settle out their workers' compensation claims and immediately file for Social Security disability and come on and get full benefits from Social Security disability without first requiring you and the workers' comp insurance company to have what is called a Medicare set-aside. And that is a situation where a third party is hired. This is before you settle your workers' compensation claim, but after you have filed for Social Security disability. You may not have even gotten on to Social Security disability yet, but just the mere filing of it, whether you get on or not, requires workers' compensation insurance company to get what's called a Medicare set-aside. And that is where a third party, as I said, goes out to your doctors and collects your medical records to determine what your diagnosis is currently, what your needed future medical care is going to be, and what your prognosis is. They then gather that information and put dollar costs to the future medical costs that are going to be facing you in the years to come, perhaps, including your prescription medication, your doctor's visits, if there's any surgeries that you may be needing, or any other testing or injections or treatment or therapy. They put pencil to pen, they calculate that number, and it's usually a very large number in serious cases where you have a serious injury. That number is very significant because it's then given back to the workers' comp insurance company. And they look at that number and they pretty much decide at that point in time whether or not they are going to want to settle your workers' compensation claim. If the Medicare set-aside projection is so large, it may prohibit you from ever settling your workers' compensation claim. So it is very, very important that you think long and hard before you ever file for Social Security disability while you have an active workers' compensation claim. Now understand, it is possible for you to go forward and file for Social Security disability, as the guidelines read right now, 30 months after you settle your workers' compensation claim and not have to worry about the Medicare set-aside. That's basically 2.5 years. All of those things have to be taken into consideration when your lawyer is looking at your case and trying to determine and advise you whether or not it is beneficial for you to file for Social Security disability and at what time that filing should take place. We tell our clients always, before you ever think about filing for Social Security disability while in a workers' compensation claim, please call us. We are very, very skilled at handling workers' compensation claims and Social Security disability claims and can advise you properly on the pros and cons of when you should file, whether or not your weekly workers' compensation claim benefits might be offset by Social Security disability benefits should you get on, and how that will impact your ability to settle the case down the road. As I said when I opened this piece, it is a very complex issue, and I advise you to seek out legal help from our offices should you need information about such. We're happy to help you, and you're welcome to call us at 770-351-0801. Thank you.